Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today is 9/11/2020 and it is Friday. So before we get into the video, I just want to remind everybody I will be live streaming tonight with a special guest. Becca will be joining me tonight because I know a lot of people were asking when Becca was going to be joining me on the live stream. She will be with me tonight on the live stream, so I look forward to seeing everybody then, and then you guys all get to meet her in person, and so we're looking forward to doing that chat. I don't know what the topic is going to be yet. I'll have to decide that once we get closer to that time period. But so the topic of today's video is, as you will see, that says never forget. Okay, obviously everybody knows 9/11. It's one of those defining moments in history, and it's like with our generation, people will say, do you remember where you were on 9/11? And I'll never forget the day, ever. And I remember exactly where I was, what was going on, in those type of things. And it was definitely changed the thinking of a lot of things. And I'm not going to get into any conspiracies of who did what and why and all that type of stuff, but what I want people to remember, if nothing else, that a lot of people died that day, unnecessarily so. And there was a lot of firefighters, there was paramedics, there was police officers, all those people in those buildings that perished. Just a horrible situation, and I would hope that people, beyond all the other thoughts, and I've done videos on 9/11 and I've talked about it, and if you guys remember too, this flag was sent to me, and I'm gonna hold on a second if I can. Hold on guys, I wanna I can't really, well, stop, it's me. I can't really pull it off there right now. I'd have to get the ladder. But that flag right there is the 10th anniversary 9/11 flag that was sent to me by a subscriber. And every one of those things on there are the names of the people that died, that day. And that's what we need to be thinking about. Those are the people that we need to be honoring. And who did it, who's to blame, what it was all about, and all that type of stuff. Like I said, I've shared my thoughts on that, and I don't want to get into that on this video, because that's not what today's about to me. To me, it's a day of remembering. A lot of people died, again, in my opinion, for absolutely no reason. And I want people to remember them and honor them on this day. And, like I said, you had a lot of firefighters, you had a lot of police officers, you also had, paramedics. I think there was like 8 paramedics that also died. It was like 60 police officers, and it was over 300, I think it was 364 firefighters died that day. And we're not even going to talk about with the cleanup and trying to rescue people and the number of, firefighters and everybody else that got sick because of that, and and had health issues down the road because of everything with that. So I want people to remember that, and just take a moment today and reflect on that, and terrible tragedy, and again, like the people in Pearl Harbor in that generation, everybody remembers where they were when that happened. When Kennedy was assassinated back in the 60s, everybody remembered where they were when Kennedy was assassinated. And just like I say, 9/11, everybody remembers where they were that day, because it was such a huge event that had happened in this country at that point. And people don't, that's just something, like I said, I'll never forget that. I'll never ever forget that. And like I said, I want people to think about the sacrifices again of the people that died, how many people were tragically affected by that day, and stuff like that. So that's kind of one of the things that I wanted to the main thing I wanted to talk about today. It is a very rainy day here at the homestead, so it's there's not going to be. I was planning on splitting some wood today, but that's obviously not going to happen now. I did want to show you what in here. So let's go in here real quick. All right, let's turn the power on. Okay, so what we did to fix the situation, and it worked, it fixed it, no problem. I mean, literally, Brian came here, put in these two monstrous breakers. He said, it's overkill, but we're never going to have to worry about it again. There's not going to be an issue. And I said, okay. So it literally, he was here for maybe an hour, and he had everything squared away. And it was, again, let me just first of all say thank you, Brian. I appreciate you coming, taking care of this, and I want to thank his girlfriend for being so accommodating as well, because obviously, that took away time from his family, and, he had his son with him when he came up. So I want to just, thank them deeply, because, we were all day without power until he got it hooked back up. But, so anyway, now today, actually, with it being the kind of weather that it is today, we're actually still bringing in power, believe it or not. We have 158 watts coming in from this side, and we have 76 watts coming in from this side. The batteries are pretty much staying steady at about 25.5. What I'll probably end up doing is I will, turn the generator on at some point, let it run for a couple hours, get a real good charge into the batteries, and so we'll be okay through the night with no issues. But that's one of the things you got to deal with when you have it needs a full good sunny day to get everything charged up nicely again, and we'll get that again, we'll get that back. But power's restored, that's fixed. Like I said, you can see those are some seriously monster breakers that we put in here. One is 100 amp, the other is an 80 amp, and we're not going to have any issues anymore. Again, like I said, it is overkill, but again, I would rather have the overkill than, maybe possibly have issues, down the road. So, we're back on, we're working well, everything is good as far as the solar goes, and but yeah, so that's what we ended up having to do. And again, I think a lot of people really don't understand, with solar, a lot of times it is trial and error. You figure out what works or what doesn't work. You make adjustments, you tweak things. Everything is getting tweaked all the time, and so that's how it goes. But what we ended up having to do too, bought the new generator. It had a different head or prong on it than what the other one had, because it's the same type of generator, made by Champion. They've just changed the design a little bit. It's definitely much quieter, which is really nice, but also the prong had to be changed out, so Brian changed that prong out on that as well. I had picked up the new prong head at Tractor Supply, and and did that. So, but yeah, so it's so like right now, it's funny because we're up to pulling about 300 watts, which means, and I don't know if you can see that moving here, we're putting power into the system. So if we're getting 300 watts of solar, we're actually charging the batteries and running both houses. So that's pretty neat, actually. It works out really cool. But so anyway, so that's what's going on with the solar. The solar's back on again. Brian, you have no idea how much I appreciate you coming up and taking care of that. It really does mean a lot. And obviously, guys, I mean, Brian's part of my group, so if something happens, him and his family are going to be here, and that's fine. I've never had an issue with that. When he was up here the last time, he had brought his dad, and I let his dad know too. I said, if something goes down, you're more than welcome to come, as well. And he's like, he goes, well, I'm useless. And I told him, I said, nobody's useless. So, when people say that, I don't like to hear that, because that's just not the case. Nobody is useless. So anyway, that's what's going on, guys. And so, like I said, I wanted to kind of take it today and be a day of reflection, and to think about all the people that lost their lives that day on 9/11. And you know, here's something else I want you to think about as well. We have been at war ever since that day. So the entirety of my children's lives, which they will be 19 next month, okay, their entire lives we have been at war. Because they were born, you know, the month after 9/11. They're October babies, so they're actually Halloween babies. So they're 2 days before Halloween. But you know, people need to think about those things and reflect and you know, be grateful. Be grateful. I mean, we live. You know, this country has its issues. There is no doubt about that. We have a lot of issues in this country, but we are still in the greatest country in the world, as far as I'm concerned. We have more freedoms than anybody else. You know, you look at what's going on with China, how much they suppress the freedoms of the people there. So, you know, there's a lot of games that are played. Never going to say there's not. But, you know, we're pretty fortunate to be here in the United States. And but anyway, so with that being said, again, I want to just remind everybody, I will be live streaming tonight. Becca will be joining me in the live stream. And so, you know, that way, you know, she can meet everybody. You guys can all see her and see who she is, and get a chance to ask her some questions and all those type of things. So that should be fun. Should be a good time. So please join us 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the live stream tonight. And again, I'll figure out a topic that we'll start out on. We never stay on point ever, but we'll start out on a topic. Okay? I hope everybody's doing well. Remember, we are all in this together. That is important to remember. Also remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life, so it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. Also remember, guys, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Step, thing, and day, okay? If you work methodically, whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to do, you can do it. The only person that's going to stop you from reaching any of those goals or any of those dreams is you. Don't let negativity beat you down. Don't let negative people try to persuade you to not follow your heart. Always follow your dreams, follow your passions, and let the chips fall where they may. You know what? You may succeed and you may fail, but you get up and you try again. Okay? I hope everybody has a great day. I will see you all tonight at 8 o'clock. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.